Come on, tie it. Oh, yeah, that is better. I've been attracted to guys all my life.
I think to start with, it was quite difficult for various reasons.
You know, like I wanted you all to myself.
So is that all we're talking about today?
That is all we're talking about today, PJ.
Wah, wah, wah.
Hi guys, my name is Alex and welcome back to my YouTube channel. A few weeks ago, I did a coming out video. In that video, I talked about how I came out to a lot of my friends and families and how a lot of people reacted thinking, why now, why have I suddenly become gay and stuff like that. After that video, a lot of people found out for the first time that I was gay. This video today will be answering all of your questions. One of the most popular questions I was asked was, how was it growing up? How was it growing up in Nigeria being gay? The answer to this question is very simple. When I was in Nigeria, I was still very religious and I was still fighting my hardest to be straight. So I put this personality, this front, and I tried my best to act as straight as possible. Obviously, I had no girlfriends when I was growing up, even right through university. So a lot of people already had a bit of suspicion about my sexuality. But Nigeria is a country where no one talks about stuff like that. No one talks about homosexuality in Nigeria. I remember when I was growing up, you know, I used to love spending time with my aunties and staying in the so-called girls area or girls room, and my dad always kicked me out of it because he was like, no, you're a man, you're not supposed to be here, but that's where I really wanted to be. I've already done another video that I'll be posting later on. In that video, I really talked about growing up because it's a very big topic on its own. But growing up in Nigeria was not that difficult because I was not openly gay in Nigeria. There was a time when one of my aunties walked in on me receiving a BJ from a friend, and she just froze, closed the door back on her and walked off. She never mentioned it to me. I'm not too sure if she mentioned it to anyone else, but that was it. No one ever talked about it. So Nigeria is that kind of place. No one talked about homosexuality. It was a very uncomfortable, forbidden topic. Another popular question was, why did you get married? I got married because I really wanted that traditional life. I really love kids. I really wanted to have kids. I wanted to have my own family. I wanted to have a family better than the family I grew up in. So that's why I got married, because back then I believed that was the only way to have a decent family. And yeah, that's why I got married. How was it being married? Being married was fun. The first year when we were dating and all that was fun. I was really in love, and I'm sure she was in love with me. I hope. We got married after almost a year of dating, and it was fun. The first few years was fun. We had my first daughter. Immediately we got married, which was not what we initially planned for, but yeah, we were both inexperienced. We didn't know what we're doing, so yeah, the rest is history. Honestly, at that point I thought I'd conquered this gay side of me, and I know some people find it difficult to understand how I stayed married, but yes, I was married and I enjoyed it and I was in love. And honestly, I thought that was it. I've achieved it, and that, you know, I'm now straight. How did you manage to make babies being gay? this one is a funny one. I've been asked this a couple of times. I think sexuality is complex. Sexuality is not black and white. You're not either gay or straight. There is a lot of gray area in between. Obviously, you have bisexual, and there's some people that sway more into being gay or sway more into being straight. There's a bit of range in between there. And I think maybe if I was to give myself a percentage, I would say maybe I'm 80% into guys and maybe 20% into girls. The easiest way to explain it is, if I'm with guys, then I don't feel like I'm missing anything. If I'm with girls, I feel like there's still something that I need to satisfy. How did you come out to your ex? I'm going to be very honest here. I didn't deliberately come out to my ex. She found out by going through my phone and saw some messages I've sent to somebody talking about our past. So I wasn't really cheating on her per se, but I was speaking to one of my old friends that we've done stuff in the past, and we started talking about old times and stuff like that. And she saw those messages and she asked me about it. And I came out to her and I said that yes, I am attracted to guys. I've been attracted to guys all my life. How did your wife and kids handle you being gay? Well, it was a transition. Initially it was difficult. It took her time to understand and really appreciate that it's nothing to do with her, that it wasn't her fault, or she didn't tell me gay or anything like that. That it was just who I was, and I've been fighting my hardest not to be that person, but at the end of the day, it is who I am. And yeah, she has been the best person I could ever imagine to be both a wife or an ex. She is very understanding, and even till today, she's still there for the kids, making sure the kids have their dad around. Most of our friends have told her, why are you associating yourself with him? Take the kids, move out of the city, go somewhere else, and you should never see the kids again. But she has been super nice, super lovely, and I owe her everything in terms of the family and the relationship I have with my kids right now. How is the relationship with your ex and your kids now? Everything is fine. I see my kids every week or every day most times. They spend 2 weekdays with me and a weekend. So most Sundays I'll pick them and they spend the whole Sunday with me, and I get them ready for school on Monday. Mikey, my boyfriend, is very supportive as well because he helps me take them to school most days. So yeah, the relationship is fine. We are what I usually jokingly call the modern family, because we have each other and we understand each other and we are there for each other. Well, there are still a lot of questions that a lot of people have asked, and I know I'm not going to be answering all of them with just one video, but I just wanted to maybe ask my ex some questions, or maybe one question. She's here with me today, and I just wanted you guys to hear our view on everything. So I will be introducing Sherelle to come in and join us. Thank you very much for agreeing to do this. Honestly, well appreciated. I just wanted to ask you how you feel about everything that has happened.
Okay. I think to start with, it was quite difficult for various reasons. It was a bit of a shock to find out someone you've been with for a number of years is gone completely opposite to what you were used to, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's
going the other way. It's not something you expect when you split up. You don't really expect it. So when you're faced with it, I don't think there's a right or wrong way to react. I think it's just your emotions at the time.
Okay. But you kind of you knew before we actually.
I knew before we split up. We had situations when we were
that we talked about.
Talked about when we were together. So I had an inkling of what the deal was beforehand. But I think there's a difference between knowing and then actually happening.
Okay.
It is different. It's one because when you know about it, you can put it to the back of your head and not really think about it. You can, people put things in compartments in their head so they can lock it away. You kind of do that because obviously when I found out we were still together, so to not have to deal with it, I locked it away, so I didn't have to deal with it. So then when all of a sudden you say, oh, by the way, I'm dating someone, it then comes as a bit of a shock because all of a sudden you have to kind of deal with everything at that time. Even though you're not together, you still have to deal with it because we've got kids. And I think that was one of the hardest things. It wasn't even the fact, I think, that it was because you were with a man. It was having someone else there with my kids. Just felt I couldn't deal with that. That's what I didn't like. Because the kids come home and they go, oh, Dad and Mikey this and Dad and Mikey that. And you feel pushed out. You feel, I suppose, jealous in a way. Because they come back and they're buzzing and they're this, oh, Dad and Mikey did this. Dad and Mikey did this. We did this. And then when you post videos with you all to get out together at the beach and things, it does hurt a little bit. Because you're kind of like, you see a family unit and you kind of feel a little bit jealous because it's just me and the kids when they're with me. So it did hurt to start with, and I didn't like it to start with because I felt hurt. It felt like you just kind of took someone else in and tried to do a whole family, and I just felt pushed out.
Okay.
And that was when I didn't like it. So that's when I would call you up and...
Do you still feel pushed out now?
Not now, no. Not anymore. I think it took a little bit of time, I would say, for me and Mikey to kind of get used to each other. I think there is that awkwardness to start with because it's a new situation for him as well. But I'm not looking at it from his side, I'm just looking at it from my side. So I don't consider really what he's going through. I just go by what I'm feeling. Now it's fine. I think now I would say Mikey's and me we get on really well.
Yeah.
I think we get on really well now, but
it comes to report me to you sometimes. I
don't
know how that works, but anyway.
I don't know how that works either, but I have to someone has to keep you in check for him. He needs someone in his corner, and it just so happens to be me. That's just how it is.
Anyway, thank you very much for your input. Thanks for coming in. Thank you very much. Maybe we should ask Mikey some questions as well.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah, let's get Mikey on. So, Mikey, a lot of questions most people have asked is how do you feel about me having ex-wife, kids, and stuff like that?
Well, in the beginning, I found it a little sort of. I thought it was like charming, and I thought it added a sort of an assurance that you were, kind and everything. But sort of part way through or along the way, sometimes I have felt like the attention has been sort of not entirely all for me, and like sometimes I felt maybe a little sort of, like I wanted you all to myself, but like generally I think it's actually been quite nice because it's sort of felt like a family, and it's given me more people to be around, and it's been less lonely, I guess.
Well, and the kids, you have a very good relationship with the kids as well.
Yeah, the kids are amazing. Honestly, I don't know how they behave so well, but they are angels. And I have 32 nieces and nephews.
I think that's an important thing for me, despite how I initially felt at the beginning, was the fact that I could see how much the kids and him did genuinely love each other. And I think as a parent, when your ex is meeting someone else, all you want is for that person to treat your kids like their own family, because you want your kids to feel safe and loved in their home environment, because they have two homes. And that was important. The fact that how Mikey was with the kids and how the kids did love Mikey, that calmed, I suppose, how I was feeling a lot as well.
Well, they do have two homes, because they have their room here with their beds and everything, and they have their room at yours as well. So they have two homes, and they stay at ours 3 days or sometimes more a week, and the rest they are at yours. They go to school for mine. Those days they are with me as well. So yeah, they do have two homes, and I think they are really good kids. They took everything well. Initially, it was a bit rough because
more Tari was a bit.
Yeah, Tari, she wanted. She was sometimes, because most times when they come to mine, it's just me and them, and they have me to themselves. So they were a bit worried that maybe they will not have that much attention anymore. Yeah. But Mikey knew from day one that when the kids are here, it's all about the kids. So, and we kept it that way from day one.
It just took time for her to settle down, and once she realised that you weren't going anywhere, that like nothing was going to change, it did calm her down. But it did take a lot of work, because you don't see what goes behind, what happens when she's not around you. It's when when she's at home. And
all right. So thank you very much. This sofa is getting really tight, but we're going to make it even tighter by inviting the gorgeous little cuties. Come on, join us.
Finally!
Alright, so what do you guys think about your family and having Mikey around?
Good.
Alright, what do you have to say?
I'm fine with it now. And I'm fine with you and Mikey being together.
Thank you very much.
So is that all we're talking about today?
That is all we're talking about today, PJ.
Wah, wah, wah.
Come on, Tari. Oh, yeah, that is better. Shoo. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and welcome to my modern family. Yes, this is my modern family. Everyone say hi and say bye at the same time.
Bye bye.
I don't know why I say bye.
Bye bye.